Hello everyone. It is Friday, which is an unusual day for me to do a video, but it's Friday, April 18th, and this will be the video for this week that I am getting in. So right now, I'm actually at Orange Theory in the parking lot because there is a Bad Bunny class. So that's why I'm here. I do not like these late classes, but that's the reason why I'm here right now. Okay. So, my topic for today, and I was thinking of what I should talk about, but my topic for today is actually going to be self-sabotage, meaning how we self-sabotage ourselves, how we are our worst critics, how we hold ourselves back from moving forward. And that was something that I just realized, or no, I shouldn't say I just realized. I realized that a lot in my life. But I guess I'm just waking up to the impact or seeing what a significant impact it has and how to change it moving forward, how to try to alleviate it. It's not easy, but just the awareness of it, just knowing that, you know what, you are keeping yourself from doing certain things or progressing or making certain moves in your life. Just recognizing that and knowing it and admitting it, I think is progress. I think it's a positive thing. So the reason I wanted to talk about this was because I feel like I'm in a point in my life that I'm trying to find solutions for problems or issues. And one specific thing that I'm trying to find a solution for, I feel that I am the culprit. Or I try to find like, well, what's the issue? Why can't I do this? Or why can't I progress in this area of my life? What is holding me back? So I identified that I'm holding myself back, and part of why I hold myself back, I think, and a lot of us do, is because of fear. We're afraid of failing. We're afraid of what the outcome can be, because it could be one or the other. It could be success or it could be failure. So the fear of failure is so big that we stop ourselves from doing things to avoid the failure. Even though I will admit, I feel that I do take a lot of risks that I myself tell myself, like, what are you doing? Like, seriously, Tati, this is big and you're going for it. All right, go ahead. And I have failed. I mean, I have done many things that I have failed at. But I think the bigger picture, or what we should be looking at, is what are we doing to overcome that, or what are we learning from the failure? So one thing I did do is me and my husband, not this past September of 2024, but September of 2023, I was 23. We took the plunge and we actually opened a John's Fried Chicken and a cloud kitchen in Belleville, which for years, I'm telling you, maybe 6-7 years prior to that, maybe even more, maybe 8 years. Yeah, because I didn't even have my daughter. Prior to that, I had people approaching us to do this, and I always said no. We always turned it down. But this time, I don't know what, something said, you know what, like, what do you have to lose? Like, obviously I had money, time to lose, so which is scary, because we don't have money, spare money hanging around to lose, but then what do we have to gain? We can gain success. So we took the plunge. I mean, it took a while to do it, and we took the plunge and it was not successful. We did not do well. We had to close about 10 months in. Yeah, July, yeah, 10 months in. And I think back, and a lot of people and even my husband kept saying, like, we should close sooner than that. And I kept pushing it, you know, being hopeful, overcoming the obstacles we had. There were a lot of obstacles that were out of our hands. They were a technology issues that I have no idea about or control over. There were, what other issues? Building issues, site issues, just a lot of issues that were out of our control. Everything that we could control, we were good. We had it under control. But then those certain things we couldn't handle. We couldn't handle when the technology was down. And that was our main source. Orders coming in through the tablets. But if Wi-Fi was down, if the tablets were down, if the websites were down, there was nothing we can do. So there were a lot of things that impacted it. And I think back and I think, you know, there were a lot of things I could have done differently too, but you know, it is what it is. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about technology. I learned a lot about myself, my perseverance, my determination. I learned a lot about my husband. I just learned a lot. I learned a lot about the business. And it was tough. It was heartbreaking. But even after the fact, I told my husband, you know what? I think we got a lot out of this. Like, we learned a lot. We fought a lot. We went through a lot. But I want to look at the positive side of it, because I don't want to knock myself down for doing that. I mean, honestly, I'm really happy I did do it, because it helped me realize that I can take a risk, that I do have a support system, that even if we fail, we're still solid and strong enough that we're gonna overcome it together. And we did. I mean, we're still together, and now we're looking at other things to do, other risks to take. We might assess them or look at different aspects of them, but we're still looking at them and we're still considering them. So it didn't take away from us wanting to take the risk, but we're just being precautious about it. So yeah, I realized that in the past, how I've deterred myself from doing certain things. I'm trying to look at it from a different perspective. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Am I gonna die from this? No. Am I gonna, lose a body part? No. What am I losing? Time. I'm losing energy. I'm losing sleep a lot. But this is something also that my kids are looking at. Mind you, my son was not happy about us opening the cloud kitchen. He didn't think it was a good idea. But I talked to him about it, and I said, you know what? I understand that you didn't agree with this, but me and your father felt this was a good idea, and we went along and we did it, and it was not successful, but we learned, and you learned, and we all learned from it. So it's okay. Like, it's okay to succeed in some things, and it's okay to fail in others. So my kids are growing up in the thick of it, as people say. So they're growing up seeing the successes, the failures. They're growing up seeing a lot. I mean, COVID, so many things have happened that I'm like trying to assess myself that they have witnessed. My grandmother passed away, some fires, some wars, it's just so many things that have transpired in their lifetime that it's scary, it's sad, but it's also encouraging, as weird as that all sounds. I think I should say it's encouraging, because they can see that they lived through all of this and they're still going, and we lived through all of this and we're still going. So it also shows our strength. So even though, like I said, we're our worst critic, we we hold ourselves back a lot, but we are in a time in our lives that we have overcome so much that it's easy to second guess ourselves. It's easy to think, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to take that risk. I don't know if I can handle that. But then we just have to look back and say, well, I handled this and that. And, I was able to get over all of these other things. So why not? Why can't I handle this specific situation? Why can't I take this risk? My wish actually is that my kids do think back and say, hey, if my mom could take a risk of trying this cloud kitchen situation, I can take a risk in taking this test, taking the bar exam, or going to school to become a doctor. Whatever their heart feels is their passion and desire, that there's nothing holding them back thinking, well, I can't try this because I may not accomplish it. No, let me try it and I may accomplish it. Or I may learn other things like my parents learned things from the things that didn't work out for them, or were failures, weren't successful, or didn't work out in the end. So, like I started, that I am my worst critic. I am my worst I guess I don't know what that word is that I would say in English. I'm thinking of it in Spanish, like, it's not temptation, but my worst, just the worst person to second guess myself. I can think of a million reasons why something is not going to work, but I have to learn to look for that one reason why it would work. So we got to look at that bright side. So I did something. I wrote things down because I read it somewhere that it said, like, write down what you feel is holding you back. What are your obstacles? And then burn it. So then it like burns with the smoke and it evaporates and whatever. This is like a yogi kind of meditation thing. So I did that, and as I was writing, like fear and failure and, all these things. And then I don't know what happened, but it just came to me that I wrote down myself, me, like I'm holding myself back, and I wrote it down. I put myself, me, I'm holding me back. So I wrote it down, and then I burned the paper, and as it was like burning and evaporating and disintegrating, I felt this sense of like letting go, this sense of like release. And I thought, wow, I am holding myself back. I am restricting myself. And not to say that this solved the situation. It didn't at all. Because then today was a crazy day. I did that a few days ago, but every day I have new challenges and new issues, and even with myself. And sometimes I just stop and I say, you know what, Dati, just breathe and let it go, or just think of this as temporary. All of this is temporary. This is a temporary issue. It's going to get resolved, move on, and then tomorrow's going to be another issue. So I've been trying to look at things that way. It's helping a little bit, but sometimes I just lose it. And I know I keep blaming like perimenopause and my hormones and, life. But I was thinking, right now it's that, I'm saying it's me. I'm holding myself back. Sometimes I say it's perimenopause. Then sometimes I say my kids are young when they're older. So there's always going to be something else. always something is going to come up. There's going to be a different scenario. There's going to be a different excuse. There's going to be something that comes up that I can use as an excuse. So today, I am telling myself that I am no longer my own excuse. I am going to be doing the opposite. I'm going to be saying what the positive is. So right now, I'm going to be wrapping this up because I'm going to go inside. This is one thing. I could easily not come to this class because Marlene is not coming with me, which is my workout buddy. So I'm coming to take this class by myself, solo. I invited a few people. I invited my daughter. I invited my husband. And no one agreed to come. But I'm here and I'm doing this and I'm being positive and looking at the bright side. I don't want to be here at 5:56 p.m., but I am here and I'm doing it. And I know that afterwards I'm going to be so happy and so excited. So today, April 18th, I think I said, yes, Friday, April 18th, I am changing my mindset to a positive one and looking at the bright side of things. So the bright side of right now is I'm gonna walk into this class. It's gonna be fun. They have a DJ. It's a Latin night, Bad Bunny. So I'm gonna have a good time. And that's the positive. There's no negative. Or whatever the negatives that arrive, I'll handle it when that happens. But right now, positive, fun. I'm gonna feel great and amazing afterwards. So let's stop being our worst critic. Let's stop being the ones that hold us back. And let's start being the ones that push us forward, propel us, looks at the one positive thing that can happen. And then who knows, maybe 100 other positive things also occur. So let's make it a productive day. Let's make it a positive one. And let's look at the bright side of things, always. And there will always be obstacles, negatives, challenges, but let's talk about the good. All right, let's talk about the positive, and let's learn from the failures. All right, so let's make it a productive one, and till next time, take care. Bye bye.